bit. Me again with Wings Credit Union. I just wanted to say before I introduce Clint, some of you know that we recently merged, a little merger with another credit union out in Colorado, and one of the things that we really want to emphasize on is something that our CEO has said is like, hey, we want to continue to build on all the local communication or local connections that we have and local foundations that we've created. And I just love hearing that from them. And Tim Benetti took a tour with some of our leadership team around Apple Valley, and they were really impressed with how we've grown over the years and just where we're headed. It's really enticing for business and affordable housing and just a really great space to continue to grow in. And so we're super happy to stay here in Minnesota as well and continue to grow our footprint within this community. So I just wanted to add that. So thank you to Tim and everyone involved with that tour. All right. So I've had the pleasure of actually knowing Clint for about 8 years or so since my time at Wings Credit Union. But Clint, he has called home now for 20 years, and his commitment to the community runs deep. He was first elected to the City Council in 2010 and has served as mayor since 2021. In those roles, he has served as Apple Valley's Economic Development Authority and represents the city through the Municipal Legislative Commission, Metro Cities, and the League of Minnesota Cities, the National League of Cities, and as board member of the Minnesota Valley Transit Authority. Clint is an active member of the Apple Valley Rotary Club, Apple Valley Chamber. You notice he comes to almost, I would say, all the ribbon cuttings, so that's awesome to see him there. He's a former District 196 Foundation board member and enjoys supporting a wide range of local organizations that make Apple Valley a great place to live. Beyond City Hall, Clint brings 3 decades of experience in finance, lending, credit, and operations. He is a founder of High Point Advisors, a consulting, coaching, and training firm that helps community financial institutions and other businesses grow and succeed. At the end of the day, Clint's focus is simple but impactful. Build on what makes Apple Valley a special while creating new opportunities for everyone who lives, works, owns business, or raises a family here. So, thank you, Clint.
You have a ton more food in the back. Tell people they can go for a second.
Okay. All right, well, welcome everyone to the 2026 Apple Valley State of the City. Whether this is your first time here ever or you show up every year, just simply thank you for being here today and taking the time out. You just saw Ed wander up to tell me that there's a lot more food in the back, so please don't be shy about refilling your plate today. We've got a lot to cover today, some accomplishments from 2025, some highlights of a few businesses. You'll hear a little bit about what our departments have been up to and our priorities ahead. But before I get started, there are a few people I do need to recognize. And I'm going to start with our Apple Valley City Council. I am legitimately and forever grateful to serve alongside all of these individuals. Councilmember John Bergman, Councilmember Ruth Grendall, Councilmember Lisa Hebert, and Councilmember Tom Melander. Let's please give them a round of applause for the work they do. This group is dedicated to Apple Valley and spends an awful lot of time putting Apple Valley as their top priority. Thank you for the work you do. I'd also like to say thank you to Ed and Fabiana and the entire chamber for hosting us here today, for the work you do daily to support all of our businesses here in Apple Valley. We are fortunate to be able to work alongside you both every day. Thank you. Strong schools are key to a strong community, and they're key to being a place where people want to live. District 196 has 4,400 staff members serving 29,000 students across 31 different elementary, middle, and high schools. Thank you to District 196 for being a great partner with the City of Apple Valley. I'm also grateful for a strong relationship that we have with Dakota County. Everything from road projects to health and human services to the library, Dakota County has a great impact on all of our Apple Valley residents. And I'll personally tell you, the residents don't really care whose job it is. What they care about is they get the service that they need when they need it. And that's why those relationships are so important. I'd like to welcome and recognize Commissioner Mary Heyman Rowland. Mary is right up here in front. Let's give Mary a hand. Mary, thank you for all of your years of dedicated service to Apple Valley, well beyond your time as commissioner.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'd also like, I don't have a slide for this one, but I would like to welcome our Met Council representative, Victor Obasakin. Victor, don't sit down just yet. Victor, I know you have had a busy morning. You had a presentation this morning and you made time to get here today, so thank you for joining us today. Our connection to the state capitol is vitally important to what we do here in Apple Valley every day. And I'd just like to recognize Representatives Bierman and Hewitt and Senator May Quaid for not only great representation at the Capitol, but for honestly just being available to us and our residents throughout the year. I know you all just wrapped up an incredibly stressful session for a whole lot of reasons, but I do want to say thank you for your continued support, because even in that stress, you managed to find us another $9.1 million to help us continue to support our PFAS water treatment that we're going to have coming at us in the future. So thank you. And I'd just like to point out that here in the front, we have Representative Bierman and Senator May Quaid both joined us here today. Federal representation is also important to Apple Valley. Gets us opportunities for grant funding, gives us input on important legislation, but probably most importantly, it acts as a liaison for all of our residents and citizens who need federal services. Representative Craig, Senator Smith, and Klobuchar have always been available for us, and they always keep Apple Valley top of mind. Thank all of them. But Matthew is also here this morning from Representative Craig's office. Matthew, thanks for joining us today. So as a council, we don't do this alone. We are fortunate to have the best staff in the state. What you're going to see here today that we talk about, everything you see is representative of their hard work. We are lucky to have them, but I am more thrilled that you're going to get to see and hear from them in their own words today, some of the work they've been doing for you throughout the last year. We've also got a lot to cover by 1 o'clock, so I'm going to just keep things moving. And how ironic, and we didn't plan this, right? How ironic, though, that we started out with Liza's great history and the Chamber's great history. You know, Apple Valley now is about 56,000 residents, makes us the 17th largest city in the state. That's a far cry from this Election Day picture in 1964 at the Lebanon Town Hall. Liza mentioned it, and so I won't repeat it all, right? But we have a strong farming community roots going back to the 1800s. And a strong history of gravel mining here in Apple Valley that quite literally has set the foundation for Apple Valley and much of the rest of the metro. But what's more impressive than that to me is the way the operators of that land over the years left us, right? Much of that land today are the landmarks we know today. And that's not easy to do, to use the resource to build things up and then return a great city on top of it. So I'd like to recognize those operators for the work they did. And just that shared vision and pride in what's there when you're done is critical to where we are today. But once you get me started on historical pictures, I don't stop well. So I'm going to stop at 2. Over the last 60 years, Apple Valley has seen a rapid growth into the fully developed suburban community that we are today. This ad from 1965, I didn't put the small print on the screen, but it touted sidewalks, water and sewer, paved roads, 60 acres of parks, and a country club. And that country club is what we now know as Redwood Park. All of those attributes still describe Apple Valley well today when you think about why people want to move here, those qualities of life. Personally, I am thrilled that we were able to adopt what became Redwood Park into our park system, and I'm probably every bit as excited that we chose to keep the paved roads. So I threw some stats at you, 56,000 people, a few other numbers. But I'll tell you, that's not what makes up a community. It's those qualities behind the stats and those qualities that drive it. Things like public safety, infrastructure, parks, planning. Those are the priorities that the community tells us are important to them. We're also blessed to have active and involved residents. We have 43 residents of Apple Valley who serve on our 7 advisory committees. And those committees are the folks who really help us work through our tough and complex decisions before you ever see them hit a council meeting. We also hire every other year 200 election judges to make sure we can deliver fair and accurate elections for our people. And I'm just curious, who here, has anybody here ever served on one of our advisory committees or served as an election judge? There you go, thank you. Got a couple in the room. Thank you for those who have served. Here's my pitch. We're gonna need election judges this year. We have advisory committee meetings coming up, or advisory committee openings that come up periodically. I cannot think of a better way to understand what goes on behind the scenes in your community. So please think about joining us in one of those functions. Those folks, though, just scratch the surface of what makes our community great. We're talking about volunteers in the areas of coaches and scout leaders, Rotary members, Lions members, our Midwinter Fest volunteers, our Apple Valley Arts Foundation volunteers, the committee that puts on Freedom Days. I could go on all day long. But the point is, we have a great community because we have people who step up and freely give of their time and talents to make this a better place to be, and we appreciate every one of them and all of their service. Another quality that get mentioned often that is important to people in our community is our school district, and we have one of the best, and it helps lift all of us up. I love their slogan that you see on the screen: one district and infinite possibilities. The opportunities in District 196, me as a guy coming from a town of 2,000 people, is one of the things that absolutely attracted us to live in Apple Valley, to know that my family would have those opportunities they wouldn't have in other places. The district's foundation of arts, academics, and athletics is setting up our next generation to be good employees, to be good citizens, to be good business owners, and we are thankful for that partnership we have with the district. Apple Valley has 700 acres of parkland across 51 different locations. That's quite an improvement from that 60 acres we had 60 years ago. In 2023, our residents made a choice to reinvest in their park system with a $73 million park bond referendum. And we're going to see a little bit what that's producing here in just a few slides. One of the fun things I get to do is go out and just have conversations with people about what attracts them to Apple Valley. What I hear is that Apple Valley is a place where we can all stay and grow. There's plenty for people to do. I hear words like safety. I hear words like convenience, stability. I will steal a quote from someone who I met at a Night to Unite party a few years ago who said, "Everything I need is here, and everything else is less than a half hour away." And I think that wraps up, I thought that put very well some of the conveniences we have here in Apple Valley. But I'll tell you, none of that happens overnight. That gets built intentionally over decades and with a lot of planning. Our businesses are important to us in Apple Valley. We have 775 businesses that employ about 29,000 people across Apple Valley. Our goal as a city, we want to create an environment where those businesses can thrive. And I will tell you, I see the challenges every day. I see it in what I do outside of city work. I see the inflation. I see the challenge it is to hire people. I see the challenge it is to just keep up with changing consumer demands. I see the challenge it is to keep up with new regulation that comes your way. I appreciate all of you for what you do to make Apple Valley successful. What I'll also say is sometimes it's a suburb, right? We get a little bit of a bad rap. We're homogeneous, so everything is the same. There's no reason to come there. And what I will tell you is every time I hear that, I will encourage people to, let's just go check out what's in Apple Valley. We have this incredible variety of restaurants, markets, boutiques, and shops that are truly unique to Apple Valley. And I would encourage you, as you get time, go check them out. If you haven't been in one of our newer businesses, stop in. Say hello. I guarantee you're probably going to find your new favorite place to pick up a few gifts or your new favorite restaurant. I'd also encourage you to do one other thing, and that is whenever you have the opportunity, choose local first. It matters now more than it has probably ever mattered, so please keep doing that. Speaking of local, Very Sweet Kitchen served our lunch today, and if you have not had a chance to stop in there before, I hope you enjoyed your meal today. The next time you have a chance to invite a client to a breakfast or a lunch, I hope you'll head over there by Buffalo Wild Wings, 147th and Cedar, and check out their full menu and enjoy the service that they offer there. Thank you to Very Sweet Kitchen for our lunch today. Let's give them a big round of applause. We hope they hear this somewhere in the kitchen working hard. I also want to highlight Constellation Coffee. There is a passion behind this business that you don't often see in the first impression. When you walk in the door, what you see is a gem of a coffee shop. It's welcoming, it's well lit, it's clean, the staff is friendly. But then you start to realize there's just an awful lot more to it. And I will say this was born of something very personal to owner Liza Robson. You saw Liza earlier. Liza, I know you don't do this alone either, right? So you've got some really great people here with you today who helped make this thing successful. Liza had a mission, though, to create jobs for individuals with special needs in a supportive environment, to create opportunities for the neurodiverse while giving back to her community. And you heard her pride in her community here just a few minutes ago. This mission was inspired by her son, Maddie, and I think she's nailed it. Talking about great coffee and a great community asset. And I would probably be remiss if I didn't mention that Maddie just graduated from Landmark College in Vermont last week. So Liza, congrats, and congrats to Maddie. Now I'd like to let us hear from a few of Apple Valley's businesses in their own words.
Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things Lego. We buy, sell, and trade all things Lego. So we offer new in-box sets just like you would find at Target, Walmart, the Lego store, but we also offer pre-built sets. So those are sets where somebody has built them, they're done with them, they bring them to us, we make them an offer, we turn around, clean them, fix them up, and then put them back for sale. You can also come in and select parts. We've got our bulk tables and we have our color sorted wall where you can just pick individual parts for your own build, like your own creation. It's been fantastic. The community has been incredibly supportive. We've been asked to help out at school events, carnivals, things like that. So they've been incredibly supportive. When I had questions about specific things, permits, the city of Apple Valley did great in handling any of my concerns. So it eased a lot of my tensions, being that I wasn't waiting for responses. And overall, it was a great experience.
Spice Village is an authentic Indian restaurant where we have two parts. One is a grocery store attached with the restaurant, and we sell Indian goods here and groceries. When we first came to Apple Valley, we had a feeling of the community and we felt warm and it was peaceful. And then we thought this would be really a great place to serve people with this Indian authentic flavors or the fine dining experience. It's been close to 1 year that we started a restaurant, and the first advantage for our business is the location. Previously, we used to drive to Eden Prairie or Egan to get the stuff, but now it's super easy for the people. They always say that they are glad that they have an Indian grocery store nearby their communities, which is easier. The people from the neighboring cities come to Apple Valley for their essential grocery shopping and their essential shoppings. So that's where we decided to start a business and grow our business in Apple Valley, and we are happy and we are glad that we chose this location.
Rascals is an independent family-owned bar, restaurant, and catering company. It was established in 1994, so we're in our 31st year of operations. We're happy with our investment. Apple Valley is a very generous community. They're loyal, committed, and it just has a good fit. We support the community supports us, and the other local businesses. Because of the investments that the city has been making in the parks, in the athletic facilities, and then the local school district 196 have directly benefited our business. The city of Apple Valley is going to be kind of a hub, I think, for youth sports activities all year round for decades to come. The city has obviously grown considerably over the last several decades, but there's still a lot of growth potential. It really has everything you could look for in a community.
Our strong businesses give us a strong community. They create jobs, they create energy, they create gathering spaces, and in a word, they create a destination. To our business owners and our business reps here, thank you. We are grateful for every one of you. Let's give them all a round of applause. I'm going to shift gears just a little bit and look at some of the highlights from your city departments. We'll say one of the cool things about this job is the dedication I see from our city staff. And I don't know how you could see it or how you could appreciate it without seeing it from behind the scenes and seeing it up close like I get to every day. What you're about to see is a snapshot of 2025, and I will tell you it is just a snapshot.
When residents and businesses think about public safety in Apple Valley, I want them to think about the people behind the badge. We are filled with talented, passionate, compassionate officers that come to work every day to do a very difficult and challenging job, and they do it with a smile on their face. Partnerships are critical to public safety and keeping Apple Valley safe. With only a handful of officers on duty at any given time, we rely on the community to report crimes in progress, to alert us to emergencies, and trust that we will respond with professionalism and integrity.
If you ask any member of the Apple Valley Police Department, the biggest ways service has been accomplished with the community can be expressed simply by our department mission statement. It's protecting our community and improving quality of life through service, education, and enforcement. I took a report one evening from a woman who was a victim of a scam involving cryptocurrency. She was scammed out of a few thousands of dollars, obviously a very devastating circumstance. With immediate efforts in trying to really counter this incident, utilizing resources, a good amount of the money that she had been scammed out of, we were actually able to recover and return it to her. And it just shows an example of how the Apple Valley Police Department on a daily basis, it's constant teamwork, collaboration, and really meeting the goal of protecting and serving our citizens.
Something our team does behind the scenes that residents might not realize is just the sheer amount of training that we do. So we train regularly on things like firearms, use of force, and emergency driving. But we also place a strong emphasis on softer skills, things like de-escalation, implicit bias, officer wellness. I know the work of our department makes a difference when people reach out directly to us, whether that's through a compliment, a thank you, an email, or simply sharing their experience with our staff. Our team often meets people in their worst days of their lives. When those people later take the time to reach out and connect with us, it reminds us just how compassionate and skilled our staff truly is. And those moments reinforce that the work we do matters. We share those with all of our employees every time someone reaches out, so they do know their work matters.
When residents or businesses think about public safety in Apple Valley, we want them to think that they can call us whenever they may need, and we're going to show up in a timely manner with well-trained staff and come help whatever their need may be. Our department builds and maintains trust with the community by engaging with them at community events, fire station open houses, or even when we're off duty as firefighters, as we all live in Apple Valley. So we really are neighbors helping neighbors.
The type of emergency calls that the Apple Valley Fire Department responds to most often is not fires, it's actually medical calls. When we respond to these calls, we are able to provide medical assistance ahead of the ambulance, or even extricate someone from a car accident before the ambulance even arrives. The biggest way we've served our community this year is by responding to calls in a timely manner, providing public education to residents, and training the youth who are interested in fire service through our Fire Explorers program.
The fire department's single biggest community event is our Fire Prevention Week, held during October. The Apple Valley Fire Department spends many days out in the community providing education to all the kids. The Fire Prevention Open House, we have one on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of Fire Prevention Week, so we're at each of the 3 fire stations. We have a big impact in the community. Hundreds of people come to see us to learn about the services that the fire department provides, the training we can give them, fire safety and reducing hazards in their own home, maintaining smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, and we do demonstrations with the trucks, our tools, maybe a sprinkler trailer or a kitchen fire trailer, and it's a fun time.
The community can help support the fire department by being proactive about fire safety. If they have questions about fire safety, they can reach out to us or check our website for more information. And lastly, our department is made up of 70+ firefighters that are all residents that live in the community close to our fire stations. And if that may be something that interests you, we accept applications April of each year and we'll provide all the training that's needed.
Many residents see our Parks and Recreation programs as the heart of Apple Valley. They give people of all ages a reason to get outside, stay active, and really connect with their community.
When you think about it, our Parks and Recreation programs are really the core way people experience Apple Valley. There's so much to explore, but if you're looking for a place to start, Johnny Cake Park West is a huge activity hub right now. Between Splash Valley Water Park, the new skate park, and the expanded Goodwin Pickleball Complex, there's a ton of energy in that area. I'd also encourage our older residents to check out the Senior Center. But if there's one thing you shouldn't miss, it's Saturday, September 26th. We're hosting the grand reopening of Kelly Park with an Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute band. It's going to be a fantastic celebration of that new space.
The 2023 referendum has allowed us to move forward with some long overdue projects throughout the city. Redwood Park is a perfect example. Seeing it transition into a finished space shows exactly how we're working to meet what the community needs. Between the anticipation of the new pool and the opening of our first inclusive playground, these projects are going to be a huge draw for families. Knowing we've created a space where every kid can play together is the kind of progress that really shows what Apple Valley is all about. We're also making huge strides at the Hayes Youth Athletic Complex. By reconfiguring the fields and adding irrigation to the entire park, we are significantly improving the safety and quality of the playing surfaces for our youth associations. It's been incredibly rewarding to see these projects move off the paper and actually start to take shape.
Beyond the construction, we're also focused on being responsible stewards. We've been restoring native plantings at parks like Alamagnet and Tinta, and even using solar panels at Splash Valley Water Park to help with energy costs. It's all about making sure these spaces aren't just great to look at, but are sustainable and well run for the long term.
We have a lot to be excited about as these major projects reach the finish line. Between the new inclusive playground at Redwood, the Purple Bear and new stage at Kelly Park, and the expanded fields at Hayes, we are delivering on the vision residents supported in the 2023 referendum. None of this is possible without our staff, and I can't wait for the community to finally get out and enjoy these new spaces.
Our Public Works Department's 60+ professionals are dedicated to providing excellent customer service across all of the divisions. As director, I see firsthand the immense effort required to meet our residents' needs, from engineering's infrastructure projects and building inspection safety oversight to the streets division's year-round maintenance and plowing. Our utility team ensures safe drinking water and reliable sanitary services, while Natural Resources protects our local ecosystem. Behind the scenes, fleet and building staff maintain our city assets, all supported by the essential customer service provided by our administrative team. Together, these divisions work seamlessly to keep our city running safely and efficiently.
So January 2025, we end up having what we thought was a water main break. We had staff go out to investigate the south side of 140th, just east of Pilot Knob. Quickly, the staff determined that it wasn't a water main break, it was actually an 18-inch sewer pipe that happened to collapse. Staff quickly realized that, started setting up bypass pumping above ground to give us the ability to kind of investigate it further.
A sewer bypass typically uses a pump to bypass flow or sewage around a problem area. The bypass ended up being in place for about 2 months until March of 25. Our number one goal was to make sure this did not disrupt our residents' lives. Even with a major sewer repair like this happening right outside their houses, nobody ever lost the ability to use their bathroom or do a load of laundry. Keeping the water flowing during an emergency like this is something that we're really proud of.
This repair highlights the power of teamwork under pressure. By pooling our expertise, we turned a winter crisis into a permanent solution in just a few months, while keeping the environment safe and our residents' services running.
If you drive Johnny Cake Ridge Road from 147th to 140th, the pavement had deteriorated. It had reached the end of its useful life. So as part of the maintenance of restoring pavement, we also took a look at that road and wanted to include some safety improvements consisting of a road diet, which is a 4-lane to 3-lane section, We added flashing yellow arrows at 140th Street. We put in some enhanced crosswalks, enhanced LED lighting. All these improvements were part of looking at the whole corridor, not just from a maintenance, but from improving overall operations on some of our roadway projects.
Clear communication remained a key focus throughout the project. Before work begins on any of our projects, we notify the community through social media, direct mail, and in-person open houses. Once construction is underway, we provide real-time updates on the engineering section of our website, including the latest progress reports and project renderings. Our goal is to keep you informed about work happening in your neighborhood. And if you ever have questions, our staff is happy to help. Together, we're committed to building a stronger, more resilient Apple Valley.
The Community Development Department helps shape the future of our city. Our role is to support and encourage new and existing business growth, ensuring developments and projects align with the long-term vision and community standards set forth by our city leaders.
Our team is focused on economic development by working closely with businesses and developers. We essentially act as a guide through the entire planning and approval process, coordinating with other departments to make sure things move forward efficiently. We want businesses to feel confident that they can open and invest here without getting stuck in red tape.
Last year, we saw several major projects cross the finish line, and 2026 is shaping up to be just as busy. In Orchard Place, the biggest project currently under construction there is Skyline Social and Games. This will be a massive facility featuring an indoor space for bowling, axe throwing, and an arcade, plus a large outdoor area for sand volleyball and bocce. Over in Central Village and downtown, construction has officially kicked off on Pickle Hall. This facility will feature 18 pickleball courts and a food hall, with an expected opening in late 2026 or early 2027. We're also reviewing new proposals for the vacant lot next to Zavago to see what the best fit for that area might be. We're also seeing a lot of activity on the housing front. For senior living, the Applewood Point Senior Co-op project is wrapping up, and Presbyterian Homes is finishing up a 75-unit addition to Orchard Path Senior Living. On the residential side, the Eagle Point Townhomes development is nearing completion, and work is continuing on the new Orchard Place apartments, featuring 135 market rate units coming this fall. Also in progress is the new Valley Station Apartments development, which will bring 144 units of affordable workforce housing to the former Gaslight Drive site. Our local schools are also getting a major boost, with huge new activity centers under construction at both Apple Valley and Eastview High Schools. And finally, we're investing back in our public spaces with total reconstructions of Redwood and Kelly Parks, plus a brand new addition to the Community and Senior Center. Every one of these projects is a direct investment in making Apple Valley a more vibrant and connected place to live.
In our department, we're guiding future growth in Apple Valley through long-term planning by working on our 2050 Comprehensive Plan update. We're also planning to refresh our zoning code so it more closely aligns with how modern development works across the region. Ultimately, we want to make it as easy as possible for people to invest in Apple Valley. Overall, it's really about staying proactive today so the city remains economically healthy and a great place to live for years to come.
Our approach to code and zoning enforcement is really about maintaining the high standards and appearance that make our neighborhoods such great places to live. We try to be as proactive as possible, focusing on education and open communication so we can catch and resolve issues before they become real problems. We always try to work with people and provide clear guidance, and we find that most issues are resolved through a simple cooperative effort on both sides. At the end of the day, it's all about being consistent so we can preserve the quality of life here in Apple Valley.
What excites me the most about the future of Apple Valley is the incredible momentum that we're seeing all across the city. We're also seeing a significant amount of reinvestment in both our commercial and residential sectors, and that's something that really deserves to be recognized and applauded. That kind of growth is exactly what we need to strengthen and sustain the city's future, ensuring Apple Valley stays a top-tier place to live, work, and play.
What you just got to see was a small window into the work our staff do daily to support Apple Valley. Every road, every park, every permit, every phone call, there's a dedicated staff member behind it. For our city staff present here today, would you please stand so people can recognize you? Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all for what you do, quite literally every day, 7 days a week. We've talked a little bit about history. We've talked a little bit about accomplishments. I want to talk a little bit also about where we're headed. Every year, we pull council and our leadership staff together, and we ask what really amounts to one question, which is what matters the most to Apple Valley long term. Those priorities that come out of those planning sessions drive everything we do, from where our staff spends their time to where your tax dollars end up. And they also guide us through the tough decisions that we sometimes have to make as a council. If you were to go back and look at the years of those planning sessions, what you would see is that overall, the big priorities in there don't change often, and they don't change a lot. And I would say that's intentional. That long-term planning that we do lets us pivot when we need to without being reactionary. Just like running a successful business, having a steady, consistent, and focused long-term vision is critical to what we do. Out of this year's session, we had a long list of goals. I don't know how we're going to even get to them all, so I'm not going to cover them all, but I'm going to cover a few here today. The foundational expectation of what we do as local government is really infrastructure. That's our roads, that's our utilities, that's all of our public facilities. That's the stuff you use daily. And as you saw in the video, things we don't think about a lot until they don't work exactly quite right. Our job is to make sure that those are here today and make sure that those are here for us in the future. Our goals in this area are focused on safety, supporting growth, and managing the long-term cost. We recognize that sometimes the infrastructure projects that we work on, even though they're necessary, can be a little bit painful. And I will tell you, we have some road projects coming in the next couple years that are going to impact all of us. We'll have details out as those come around, but if those projects impact you, they impact your business, they impact your home, please reach out to us. We'd like to hear from you. We've talked a lot about parks, and in 2023, our voters told us that our parks mattered, that they want us to reinvest in those parks, not just for now, but for future generations. We know that great parks draw people. They draw visitors, and they draw future residents to Apple Valley. Again, personal story, we bought a home that was walking distance to a park before my daughter could walk. It was that important to us to have that in our neighborhood. You got to see some of the projects. I want to hit just a few highlights of the things we worked on and the things we're going to deliver in the next year or so. Wings Arena on Hayes, we removed the old R22 refrigeration system and replaced that with a system that is more efficient, more reliable, and better for the environment. At Splash Valley, our water park, all new mechanicals, new shade, which was desperately needed for those of us who have been there, new concessions, adding solar that allows us to reduce the electric we use on the site. We also did a rebrand of that facility because Splash Valley sounds a lot more exciting than the Apple Valley Family Aquatic Center. So we're attracting more people to the water park. You saw Redwood Park. I'm probably will have our first inclusive playground, and I will tell you there will not be another one like it in the country. We have a new community pool and an awful lot more at Redwood. We installed 8 new lighted pickleball courts at the Goodwin Pickleball Complex. That complex was named to honor Tom Goodwin's 40-plus years of service to the Apple Valley City Council and his leadership in making Apple Valley's park system what it is today. Tom Goodwin is here. Let's please give Tom a round of applause. Stand up, Tom. Tom, thank you. You saw Kelly Park, a new stage, improved sightlines, better seating, new restrooms, a new splash pad that will allow us to reuse that water to irrigate the park, and expanded parking. Mark your calendars for September 26th. The Apple Valley Arts Foundation is planning a show to kick off those new facilities. When I look across our whole system, I see improvements in nearly every park in Apple Valley, enhancing our entire community and adding opportunities for everyone. Our natural spaces are also important to us, and Alamagnet Park is a gem of a natural space. This year we completed a natural resources management plan in Alamagnet that will help manage the invasive species and restore the natural habitat that used to be there. This will be better for the environment as well as creating a better experience for all of the park users. Building on that success in Alamagnet, we've launched our first ever citywide natural resources management plan. This is one single coordinated framework for all of our natural spaces. More effective, more efficient decisions, better long-term decisions, better for the community and better for the environment. And it wouldn't be the state of the city if I didn't talk about emerald ash borer just a little bit. You can't drive around town without noticing the tree canopy we have lost to EAB. We're replacing those trees that we continue to remove that are unsafe with more diverse species. But what's really fun about this story to me is that these are trees we are now growing in our very own gravel bed tree nursery, which reduces the cost of those replacement trees and also makes them more viable long-term, reduces water, improves survivability. This innovative approach, brought to us by our staff, is letting us get better results at a lesser cost as we replace these trees across town. Thank you, staff, for bringing these ideas to us. As you've seen, Apple Valley has matured a lot over the years. And we have very limited undeveloped land left, and we are working to make the best of what we have. We have a comp plan that allows a range of options currently, and as we work to update that comp plan here later this year, we're going to focus on attracting quality development that brings job growth, brings synergies with what's around it, brings amenities and options. All of those will be a priority for this area. We're also watching the regional and national trends. We want to be able to support the redevelopment that comes from the changing needs in business and consumer trends. And here's what I'll say a little bit about Apple Valley. We've not been immune to losing some national retailers due to bankruptcy and those changing trends. But what I also see is I see those spaces refill really quickly with new entrants to the market. And that's a testament to literally everyone in this room. Businesses want to locate where they can be successful, where the consumers want to be, and around other services. So you all have created a space that helps us refill those vacant spaces when they happen very, very quickly, and that is appreciated. Public safety is one of those non-negotiables for us as a council. Over the last year, we've made a major reinvestment in our public safety with our new police operations center, and we're going to continue to emphasize this year the training that you saw the chief talk about, and the technology that promote not just the safety of our officers, that promote the safety of those that they interact with every single day. One of the things we're looking into is how we can use drone technology to improve search and rescue, situational awareness, and emergency response. To our Apple Valley police officers, I simply want to say thank you, not just for the work you do every day, but for how you do it. Thank you all for serving Apple Valley. Our first responders encounter situations every week that most of us never get to respond or see in a lifetime. When we talk about the fire department, we usually like to talk about stuff, right? We talk about buildings and trucks and equipment, and we could do that today. We could spend the next 2 hours talking about stuff because it's kind of fun. But where I want to focus today is on the people doing the job, because those are who matter the most. We know this is demanding work, both physically and emotionally. And we are proud to launch a new tool that will help both our firefighters and their families deal with the emotional toll of doing this very difficult job. Thank you, firefighters, for being there on some of people's worst days, and thank you for serving our community. Let's give them a round of applause. With the new park spaces we talked about, we also get to talk about some new programming. And I'm excited for what's up ahead. Our Park and Rec team is hard at work right now coming up with those new ideas, and we'll have more information out on those shortly. But in the meantime, please take some time this summer to check out our brand new Redwood Pool or our revamped Splash Valley Water Park and beat the heat this summer. All right, so who doesn't like a good party, right? We have some great community celebrations coming up. Freedom Days turns 60 this year, and we'll be back with the car show, the best parade in the state, maybe I'm biased, our family fun night, and new this year, a kids parade. We'll see Midwinter Fest return. We'll see the Fall Food Truck Festival come back, and we'll see more music in Kelly Park. And I can't mention music in Kelly Park without mentioning the Apple Valley Arts Foundation. Mary, I know you've been a big part of the Arts Foundation over the years, as well as many others. This season, you've moved most of your concerts to Bogart's because we have construction in the park, right? And Bogart's has been kind enough to open their facility so we can keep this tradition going. But on September 26th, I think this is the fourth time we're going to tell you because we'd really like to have you there. The new stage kicks off with a fantastic show from the Arts Foundation. So please help me thank the Apple Valley Arts Foundation for supporting music and the arts in Apple Valley. Apple Valley is proud to be home to the Minnesota Zoo, and Executive Director John Frawley is with us here today. We've got him a front row seat. How about that? Welcome, John. It seems like every year the zoo is adding another new reason to come out, and this year it is I have to read this off the screen so I don't fumble the words too terribly, the Wanderlight Trail, a Twilight Lantern Spectacular, which opens on June 3rd, and John tells me tickets are already on sale and you can start planning your adventure. The zoo and Apple Valley together make a great destination, and John, thanks for what you and your team do to support Apple Valley. One of the priorities that comes up every year as we plan is how to stay better connected with the people of Apple Valley. You all likely receive our printed newsletter. It hits your mailbox a couple times a year. That remains, believe it or not, our most read and most referenced city guide. It simply works. But we know we can do more. And so we've prioritized a digital version of that newsletter to come out early in 2027 to keep everybody more informed and for us to be able to update that more frequently as things change. All right, we've covered a lot, and somehow I feel like I've kind of only scratched the surface on what's going on. Apple Valley is growing, we're reinvesting, and we're building toward an exciting future. But I will tell you, this isn't my story. This isn't the city's story. This is all of our story. I hope what you've seen here today a little bit is that it takes businesses investing and taking a risk, right? It takes our residents showing up. It takes our city staff delivering, and it takes a council with a long-term vision that prioritizes Apple Valley to build the city we know today. This is a community effort, and it honestly always has been. I do hope you'll stay connected. Check out our website, check out our social media, simply reach out to us. We'd love to talk more. With that, thank you for being here, and we are just getting started. Everybody have a great afternoon.